Welcome to another climbing video. Sit back and enjoy while I'll break mountain pass for you. In this video you'll see the hardest climb C6, the train going up H6, the little gap between the invisible walls in A4, and best memes for last, the route up to H8. Let's start with A4, and as always you can see in the bottom of the screen the keyboard, useful for if you want to learn. I love the guy that actually came up with this climb. Please let yourself know in the comments below. It would be lovely to thank you. Aim before everybody says, I made this. Nice meme, boys. As you could see, there was actually a tiny gap that's like the width of an Urus or what. Definitely a Rheinmetall can fit. As you can see, I've seen Cromwells go past it, but there's actually a guy that found this. Your next obstacle is this rock, this green mossy rock. You go to the right of this rock, then you drop down and you're basically stuck between the rock and the invisible wall, so don't do that. Follow approximately the same route as I did there. Rewind it a couple times and try it yourself. It's really easy. And then the hard part is over. All in all, this climb is pretty damn easy, and you can just get up all the way to H0, shoot down on, I don't know, almost the cap of the enemy if you want to. It just takes time, and sometimes, like in randoms, you don't really have the time, but Climb Wars? And onward to D9, the train. This is where we went with a bunch of people in the training room, trying to find invisible walls, trying to find where we could get up, and we'll see more trains in this video. And this one takes us to D9, or actually it takes us all the way up to A0. Once you're up here, you just do some basic wiggling, and I just cut that part because it's not really interesting. The only interesting part is this little thing that you just have to wiggle a little bit, and yeah, gain some speed, go to the other side, make sure you cross this gap efficiently. Don't drop down, so you have to do all the previous climbing over again. Don't be like me. And then you're up. This could be used in Glamour for if you have the enemy going up A4 and you put one of your guys up to, well, A0 and counter him. There's just this tiny wedge where you have to push yourself through that is actually kind of a nuisance. You can flip your tank here, and that's not really what you want, to have one tank out of the battle and that's stuck on top of the mountain, basically unable to be saved. Take this slow, do it like I do, enter it diagonally and try to push through like this. It'll work, but yeah, just make sure you don't flip your tank. Oh yeah, and as a nice addition, the soil isn't solid air, so have fun driving through it. It doesn't stop spotting, so it's basically just a visual glitch that's super annoying if you're up here. One could say that you're not supposed to be up here in the first place. And up next we have C5. This is just... what? Just look at this one. That looks completely legit, right? Completely legit. Up next we have C6, one of the hardest, if not the hardest climb in the game. Not because of the very few tanks that can actually do this and that can pull it off, but also the skill required, the input that you need to go up here. One tiny mistake of holding a button too long or going too fast one way or the other, or going too steep will send you spiraling down the bottom, and you'll have to start all over again. This climb just takes hours. And as you can see here, you want to get up this little ridge to my left. And just before that ridge, it's just too steep. As you can see, I'm sliding away a little bit. And you want to get up with your left track up on that thing, just like that. And then once you're up there, make use of that. Turn over, and what you then do is go forwards and get into like the second phase of the climb. You want to go higher up, and well, I thought this was the easiest way. It's still super hard, but yeah, you can still you can look at it like this. That the slope left to me was too steep to climb, and I was like, maybe I can go forwards. I don't know if you can go up left, but it didn't really work for me. And now I'm just trying to go up here slowly, inch by inch, trying to find that traction. And here's the part, if you go too far forwards, you'll slide down and have to start all over again. I would almost say that the hardest part is over, but yeah, this is just a little tiny edge, and once you grab hold of it, then, well, the hardest part is done and you've made it. Then the only thing that's in between your way is this little rock, and, well, just wiggle a little bit backwards and forwards, and you can just use a little bit of your speed. There you go. That's C6. I really wonder if people want to try this, because it's just so hard. I might even go as far as giving out rewards to people that do this, just for the heck of it. It's not useful at all because it takes so long to climb here, but hey, it's new, it's a position. And once we're up here, we just want to see where we can get, just climbing some rocks. Maybe see some more venues, or get a better view. I don't know. What do you do as a goat? You eat some grass, but all the grass is dead here, so Okay, so between the uploading of different mountain pass videos, the map actually got updated, and this is the old F5 that you're seeing right here, and that one has been patched. There's an invisible wall now, but what do we do with invisible walls? Well, we don't see them, we go around them, and that's gonna be the theme of this whole video. Trying to find new ways, going up into the old areas, so to say. Oh, and that's actually a tower. Oh. And there we have it, we're back up to F6. What a pretty climb. And here we have G6. This one had been blocked before in the old mountain pass, but for some reason they didn't intend to put an invisible wall up here. So you can still do this climb. What I've heard from Banana Cannon is that you can push 2 Super Conquerors up here, which is a pretty viable strat if you ask me, to have a Super Conk using its turret there. Look, we can assume that Wargaming patches their stuff, but yeah, you want to test out for yourself. Where's the invisible wall? How high is it? You know, that kind of stuff. So we just tested out the F2 area. This has already been patched even more, I believe, so you can't even reach this ledge anymore. It was a fun dream, but been broken. RIP. Here we see K3. This used to be one of those legendary climbs, the speedy climbs of countering the enemy, all going to the J2 area. Just really mess with everyone. And they decided to just put walls and rocks everywhere in our way. Pretty annoying, and I just decided to cut all the stuff where I typed and catch me, guys. We tried so long to get past this position, but this was even before the siege climbing actually became apparent. Might be wondering if it's possible with the Judas siege climbing. We'll see. I hope you like trains, because we're going up again, this time on H6. This was before siege climbing, and there's an alternative route. I will show the route of going up here solo in the next clip, but for this clip it's really funny that we got so many guys together and push me up onto H6. It was really funny, guys. And so I want to thank everyone in the training room and on Discord and just having a good time. That was really nice. You might be wondering, wait, Xan, can I join those training rooms? And well, yes you can. Join our Discord and you'll get a notification of when we're going to climb with a bunch of people, which basically means you have to wait a long time. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, if you were able to join, then sure, you're free to join, man. The more the merrier, right? And I wanted to go higher up, even higher than I already was, then after the push. Of course, I see those things and I see those ledges and want to grab hold of them and go higher, eat that greener grass. You know how it goes. But the saying goes, the taller you are, the higher you fall, or tall trees catch more wind. Oh man, you know what I'm saying. If you go higher up, then you'll fall further. Now with that said, you can basically understand what I'm going to do right now. And yes, of course, I'm going to mess up. Drop down. and magically live. Well, isn't that great? Oh, Gay 6, sheets climbing. This is one of those things that's really weird. Apparently, once you have a UDIS and you press X to go into sheets mode, rocks aren't really an issue anymore. They are merely suggestions. Just like these invisible walls on mountain pass for the Rheinmetall or like the speedy climbs. The UDIS and STRVs and the S1s, they can just climb over these obstacles. Look at this. This looks like a vertical wall, right? And then you press X and you look a little bit down to put your ass up, and then you wiggle a little bit, and it feels like you're driving over sandpaper. Yeah, traction, I mean. Absolutely ridiculous. Don't ask me how, don't ask me why. Well, I could probably say why, because I haven't tested the UDIS before that properly. That was my mistake, I guess, that it's discovered so late into the climbing world. Props to the guy that did it, actually. Let's skip the easy parts. Just go straight into the view and how broken this can be. With some practice you can actually get up here pretty fast, and that is actually useful in normal gameplay. Well, you can see the base, you can even shoot up into the middle, and you can shoot into the J2 area. Look at this, look at how nasty this is. Oh my god. Next up we have K5. Oh man, this video is getting rather long and you're like just over halfway. But I wanted to show this one because it was pretty funny. One of the earlier stages of discovering mountain pass and stuff. Or rediscovering, actually. You can go from the other side, like basically where this guy is, he's stuck here. And I decided to try and do the climb, so to say. And this is what happened. So what do you see? Head climbing. Like, oh my god. From the other side you can just get here straight away. And from here I was like, hey, I remember this. This is from like my old HD Mountain Pass sandbox video, right? This is this part. And I totally whiffed it. Look at that. Oh, that was so bad. Oh my god, I even died here. This is from my old video. Here we go, boys. Yeah, that looked pretty easy. Let's take a look at that head climbing one more time. Like goat on goat action. Hell yeah. Also between recording, this was what I recorded for E9, but it's patched and now we have this nice big rock. And I wasn't going to settle for that, because you know me, I'm a stubborn guy. You know what I did? I think you can probably guess it. I'm using that very same rock they placed to prevent this climb, to climb with it, up and over. Like a challenge in your life, I believe. But you can also do it from the other side. You go up here, reverse, hug the mountain as well as you can, and then hop, up and over. And then I just sped this part through because I really didn't care that this is just driving. Lap driving, as you can see. You wiggle backwards and forwards from this part. It's pretty tricky because it's really steep. It's where I cut off the previous video, I believe. Yeah, well, what can I say? Backwards and forwards, try to get that traction. You notice that this is as far as you can go. Hi, Betchet, welcome, dude. My problem now is to get past this little part, and I just could not get it. Oh my god, it was so painful. I tried over and over. People watching me when they're dead, and I'm like feeling that pressure. So you could almost say that this is the next challenge to get up here from up to H8 or G8 or whatever you want to call it. Maybe I should actually organize something about this. Maybe. To get people crazy enough to do this. Perhaps with some sort of prize, I don't know. And I think by this time everybody should be familiar with how you do E7. Maybe not in a Rheinmetall, but in a Batchet or something. It's pretty hard, but you can do it. I believe in you guys. The recording lacks audio, but it's still a pretty decent recording because this was the very first one I did. And with the very first one, we got the furthest. You might be thinking, huh, what? That doesn't make sense. Well, I basically got very lucky with my attempt, and that just jump-sparked the whole adventure of trying to go even further than that first attempt. And here's the one you can see. You push two guys up, and we're basically up here so we can get speed. Now we skip a little part. This is the part where we want to go. You go forwards, and there's an invisible wall to our right, and that basically goes along the entire mountain. You guys could probably see that from the base you can't reach that area. You can't reach that area from F7, only from here. You notice that you're already behind the wall, and now we just want to traverse and see how far we can get. Well, as you can see, that was the first attempt. Pretty decent, but that was on my side, and that doesn't really drive all that well. And here you can see even more attempts. This was so painful, and Dandy, dude, you're awesome. That you wanted to play training rooms for an entire day just to do this over and over and over again. Because that first part is already hard, and to even get here is, well, for most of these people in the training room it's just impossible. So we just have to do it with ourselves, and with sometimes little help, but usually we couldn't get it. We just needed more people to push us over this little part. And this was the one where like, okay, I can't do this solo, you need more. Like, even with the backwards and forwards, you don't get enough speed to pass this little rock, this ledge. So we go down once more with a taller tank, or with a larger tank, in order to hopefully get over further and get that center of mass over that tilting point. So skip a little bit until Dandy arrives. And usually when you're sideways, it's game over, right? Shit, you're sideways. Well. So there goes the pushing attempt. Let's just reset or something. And this is where Dandy was like, oh well, I'm just gonna try and go as far as possible, and then we'll get some help in the back. And we're like, yeah dude, yeah, come over, just drop down. Yeah, you can help. And then when you drop down, that's oh my god, if you're not fast enough you'll get stuff like that. And that was reset time. Or so we thought. For some reason this actually worked. Holy what? How? Well, the first attempt I was actually here, but I was on my side. And now like 10 hours later I'm already, no, again I'm here. And now I'm wondering, oh god, do I need to get pushed here too? Oh, that would be such a bummer. Then you need multiple tanks up here to also push you over that little edge. But, oh, the edgelord that I am, it worked. It gloriously worked. We're back into H8, the old territory, which was previously really easy to get to, like impossibly easy even. But now it's impossibly hard. No longer impossibly, it's just very hard. Hooray! And this is just some minor climbing, just adventure time, you know. Now I'm just cutting the less important part of the video because it's getting too long as it is. The goal now is to basically get up to H8 from the other side solo, and that's a pretty huge obstacle to take because I haven't been able to get enough traction to get past that last bit. I hope someone gets it, or maybe I should reward a prize and everybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, do 10k gold. I don't know. I want to thank you all for watching and hope you enjoyed the video to see how Mountain Pass is still broken. Pretty nice. Be quick though, because Wargaming is sure going to patch most of these out.
It will all be blocked.
If you don't want to miss any news regarding World of Tanks, then check out the Daily Bounce. This blog contains everything you could possibly want. The link is in the description.